Balmain Challenge, part of 1990 coverage of rugby league, is proudly brought to you by State Bank, Nissan and Goodyear.
It may not be the Sydney Football Stadium grand final time in September, but in Goulburn the crowd support is just the same. They have waited for this, and they get the combatants of '89, the Raiders and the Tigers. Terrific crowd here, and the support for these two teams is wonderful.
They say this is a second home for Canberra. Well, I don't know. The Balmain support here is terrific. I think there may have been a lot of people drive from Sydney to Goulburn for this match, because the enthusiasm and the signs are all here for the Balmain Tigers, and we're set for what should be a terrific clash. This is what everyone's been waiting for.
So the Tigers and their supporters out for revenge.
And Brian, there's one supporter of the club, Arthur Patton, the former Balmain wing three-quarter of great fame and great ability, has had the great misfortune to fall ill. He's in Gosford Hospital at the moment. All the Balmain team have asked me to send him their best wishes, as indeed do the commentary team. Arthur Patton.
Meninga. He knows how serious this is. A semi-final at stake. The man to control what could be a troublesome one, Greg McCallum. The Tigers and the Raiders. I wonder if they are on line for a grand final clash in 1990. Sirenen will be looking for a big one. They started badly against South. They will have to contain Belcher and Lazarus. What a clash that'll be with that man, Stephen Roach. Brasher has called for the football. Especially if he gets them home. And the clouds have rolled in here in Goulburn. It has cooled down a little bit. Good conditions now for the players. Brasher. Interesting to look for the positional changes in this Canberra side. Martin is taken by Edmed. Look out, here come the forwards. Lazarus. Roach. Just a friendly pat from Steve Roach. O'Sullivan, Todd, across him for Lance. He's taken by Brasher. Straight out of dummy half was Walters. Brasher had him with the assistance of Roach. O'Sullivan, back for Meninga. He looked to kick. He was under a lot of pressure. Belcher gets it in, but not a good kick from him. Back for Jack, who played so well last week. Clyde's got him. Now, the referees have been clamping down on the play the ball in recent matches.
That's to assert his authority early in the match, so there'll be no misunderstandings. Martin was the penalised player for Canberra.
Gary Jack. Now it's the Tiger forwards' turn. They received some criticism for their display against Souths. O'Brien. Running strongly.
Lost the ball.
He's lost the ball. Clyde looking for a big one against Pearce. O'Sullivan. Jinx. Taken by Freeman. A real mess in the play of the ball, and Walters comes up with a break. Still going, Walters. The Raiders on the surge. Lazarus. Should have nearly been a penalty in the play of the ball. Belcher. Last tackle against Canberra. Meninga at dummy half. Short angle on the sideline. It was touched by Balmain. The Raiders will have the feed.
A good driving grubber kick from Meninga there. Made ground. Touched the Balmain player on the way through. It will be a Canberra feed.
Freeman doesn't want to give it up. Now he does.
These two are having a nice little contretemps already. I just saw Henjack give him, Sullivan rather, give him a little belt across the face.
Matthew Wood in the centres. Now Daly wears 4, but he's at 5'8" today, a position that he favours. We'll see how he comes up. Meninga. Oh, he throws Neil away. Straight into Sirenen. Elias and Brasher. Lazarus, shaped a pass. Roach has got him. They switch. O'Sullivan, Daly. The kick for Martin, charge down. Canberra have it back. A penalty against them for shouldering a player out of the way. A bit of feeling creeping, look out.
Well, I don't think it's creeping, I think it's crept. I think we ought to talk in the past tense. The feeling's been on since the opening tackle of the game. This fella put one on Freeman just a few moments ago. I was amazed the referee didn't stop playing caution him or even give him 5 minutes for it.
Gary Jack sends it down about 42 out from the Canberra line. A little bit of emotion, Peter Sterling.
A lot of emotion. Magnificent atmosphere down here on the south sideline. Crowd really getting behind both these sides. Balmain got a distinct advantage running with a pretty strong breeze now.
As Roach charges forward. No home ground advantage. It's been the case right through the Challenge Cup. Elias. Back up the middle for Freeman, who is stopped in his tracks by Lance. Roach, head down. Last tackle against the Tigers. Elias. Neal, plenty of numbers here. Maguire back up the middle for Jack. Elias is there, he keeps it alive. Then he stops on the spot. He said he wanted one, but he doesn't get it. Quick thinking, Benny Elias.
Yes, he slews them, but Jack gives him the ball here, and he has a little bit of a look and decides he'll go for the field goal, but it's hooked away slightly to the left. A near miss, shall we say, early in the match. He's always ready to take a point on offer.
And Warren Ryan keeping a watchful eye on proceedings, and the atmosphere here just terrific. As these two grand finalists from last year do it again. And here comes Big Mal, and look at that tackle from Sirenen over the top. And Benny Elias underneath.
Well, we'd have a shirt full of sore ribs after that one.
Now Clyde. Offloading to O'Sullivan. And a shocker of a pass from O'Sullivan for Martin. Little Nick Neal rides him into the ground. Big Ciro over the top again. Honestly, the hits here are just terrific. Back from Meninga again. Gary Jack takes it well. Clyde underneath him, brings him down. Coyne over the top. Now Freeman and Pobji and Brasher. Beat one. Caught from behind by Daly. Wayne Pearce. O'Sullivan underneath him. Freeman. Back to a big block of Roach. But Coyne's underneath him. Away goes Maguire. Working that blind side with big Paul Sirenen. This mountain of a man barging straight ahead. And that'll be a turnover.
Yes, Johnny Croucher, during a momentary pause. What's the story with footy tab?
Well, Rex, in this one is $12,500 in the pick to score dividend pool. The entry to this is pretty dead even, Rex, 50% either side, but there's huge support for a Balmain field goal. 1 in 5 entries are tipping a field goal for the Tigers. The footy tab computer sees a narrow Canberra victory, with them scoring 12 to 16 points, Balmain 6 to 10. Rex?
Good on you, John. Thank you.
Here's Gary Belcher doing some fancy stuff out there. Pull down on the halfway mark. Back for O'Sullivan. O'Brien and Jack coming back for this. O'Brien will get it in the in goal. Daly's got him. And we hear that Steve Roach has been cautioned on the run for attempting to trip somebody. So there's plenty of action. Now Pobji's only a couple of metres away from the Tigers line, trying to get out of this area. Sirenen. I'm sure that when these fellas cooled down after that grand final last September, they didn't expect that they'd be going around again so quickly.
No, you're quite right. They probably thought they'd get a bit of a rest.
Now Elias. Open spaces for him. Belcher coming across. Crunch. Price and Pearce. Now Jigger Ferguson in there at dummy half for O'Sullivan. Now back for Clyde. Todd. Here's O'Sullivan again. And then Coyne. Walters. Sirenen over the top. And Blocker Roach underneath and a little short right going in. Now Meninga. Jimmy Jack. Jimmy Jack. Sliced through one opening and brings it back 5 metres from halfway. Fine run from the fullback.
I noticed a little watching Jack in the last match that he played. Just the touches coming back, just little touches that he put on every now and again, looked like the David Jack of old, and I'm hoping that he's going to make the Gary Jack. I hope he's going to make the big time again. It'll be good to see.
Here's Junior on the halfway mark. The clash this will be between him and Clyde. Edmed losing the football again. It's the second time he's done that. Lazarus scoops it up again for the Raiders. A bad pass. Walters falls on it.
Touch judge coming in. This could be Stephen Roach. Well, he had a running caution a few moments ago. This time it's official.
Well, let's have a look at the incident again. There it was.
Roach. Quick one away for Pearce. It wasn't a good pass from Roach. Lance. The call was quickly to go blind. Meninga. Long one out for Martin. Pobgy's there. He beats Pobgy easily. Brasher. He's beaten about 4 players. They kept hanging off. He's on the line. He's short. Todd. I thought he had scored. Meninga a dummy half now. Canberra coming alive. Lance. Coyne. There were some poor attempts on Martin. O'Sullivan. They're up quick. Well, this could bring them undone. They broke their line. Wood will score. If you're going to move up quick, make sure you take a man out of the play with the ball. They missed. Canberra end up with 4 points.
Beautiful play by Canberra. The opportunity was there from a long pass from Meninga. Out this one. Now this one to Daly. He came up so quickly that the opportunity was missed out there for further defence on the outside, and Matt Wood took the overhead pass and scores the try. It was all to do with one defender coming up too quickly, creating a gap in the line on the outside. There it was. Now from that point on, the long lobby pass out to Matt Woods was always going to have results, and he scores a very good try out in the corner. See it again from head-on shot. There it is, the long pass. Daly steps, goes on the outside, overcomes the first man, loops the pass out to the right. Ferguson's not needed. Matt Wood scores the try.
Oh, big now Meninga showing us the bottom part of his sock. Just the one boot from Alice. Daly got a pass away to Wood, but it was been put down. And the siren sounds to end what has been a terrific first quarter, with the Canberra Raiders leading Balmain by 4 points to 0. Don't go away. More action coming your way live in just a moment.
Canberra 4-0 so far over Balmain. The pace has been hectic. Brasher down for Belcher. Elias has got him. You talk about Clyde and Pearce going head-to-head for a lock spot in the State of Origin. Well, as far as Australia is concerned, Jack is back, and he wants his spot taken by Belcher. Todd. Peter Sterling, a very impressive Raiders outfit the first 20.
Yes, they've surprised me. I thought with Ricky Stewart out of the side, they may struggle a little bit with their organisation. Chris O'Sullivan doing a fine job, and so's the hooker Walters. I've been very impressed with his first 20 minutes.
Grant, fumble, they're offside. Belcher was down after the kick. Now Meninga's screaming for a touch judge to come in on the play. He took a knee there as Brasher came down. That was very interesting.
Yes, I don't... Well, you can't know what's going on in somebody's mind. I don't think it was intentional. It was the way the boy leapt, but nonetheless, it would have been a painful blow to sustain. I'd hate to think anyone deliberately put the knee into somebody in that situation.
Very dangerous challenge from Brasher. Edmed. Maguire. The middle and room to move. Roach blindside with Sirinen. 11 metres away. Their big men are trying to take over. Freeman. Now the little men. Neal. Pobji catching and passing. Brasher says go. He was tackled before he got it. The penalty will come.
Yes, no question about that. O'Sullivan there much too quick on the tackle. Now watch, there's the arms around the throat of Neal. I think it's exactly the same as Neal would have done to O'Sullivan, I hasten to add. But the fact is he did have his hands on him well and truly before the ball came to him. So the mandatory penalty there.
Nick Neal did exceptionally well to hang on to that. Brasher will have this opportunity about 13 metres in. Short angle for you. Plenty of pondering for Brasher at the end of his run. Coming round nicely. He's got 2 points there on the board. So the Raiders have that lead cut. It's 4-2. Meninga. Just a couple of steps and he drives it down to Jack. Knock on. Now if it's a quick feed here, look out for the big men like Daly and Meninga. O'Sullivan. Meninga was shaking his head back out here on the right. He wanted the ball. Lance. Here comes Coyne. Goes without. Todd up the middle. Walters for O'Sullivan. Now Daly. Meninga on Brasher. One hand out for Martin. Beautifully done. Great play, Meninga. Too big and too strong. They couldn't handle him. They couldn't handle him grand final day. It was the same case just then.
Well, this is absolutely superb three-quarter line play, and there's rarely a footballer I've seen can do this sort of thing with one hand. Look at him, uses the fin strongly. Brasher's held off, offloads the pass. The wingers come in to take Meninga, was forced into it. Watch it again from head on, and you'll see the good pass there. This is clean, conventional stuff. There's the pass to Meninga. Watch the big fin into Brasher. He sucks O'Brien into him because it looks as though he's going to beat Brasher, and then pops a one-handed pass out to the wing three-quarter. It's just astonishing that he's got this accuracy with this one-handed pass. Watch it again. The big fin, bang, into Brasher. Away he goes, and there goes the pass. It's beautiful. It really is. If you've got him on the field, you don't need a back line.
Martin gets the try. He only missed out by a metre or so earlier on. But the Raiders, through 2 tries, lead 8-2. Lazarus. Forwards trying to link with each other. Was knocked down by Balmain. The Raiders looked up for another 6 tackles. Wood. Here comes Martin again. Neal's there. Jack's there. He steps in field from Jack. Neal's got him. Good cover. Assistance from Pearce. Last tackle. O'Sullivan. The ball went astray from Belcher. Walters, Coyne, Meninga. Basketball pass. Clyde for the corner. Great try, Canberra. Classy stuff. Mal Meninga. Pinpoint accuracy with the pass, and Clyde out on a wing scores a try.
Well, Mal Meninga's having a freakish game. Don't ask me who's going to win the Man of the Match award on the first 2 quarters. Just watch this. He's been involved in every try, every one of the 3 tries. Walters, the ball away to Coyne, out to Meninga, sights the opening, goes. He's playing for the NFL at the moment, National Football League in America, with a quarterback pass like that. And out to Bradley Clyde, playing out in the wing. But it was great play to get the ball back up there too, because there'd been some very good running from Martin to get into that situation where he forced Jack to tackle him. But there's that long, elongated pass going out to Bradley Clyde. and he scores a try wide out. Beautiful stuff. Again, the ball on the bounce, element of luck about that, but all good teams have luck. Coyne away to Meninga, decides he'd go on his own for a few yards, stops that, offloads the football out to Clyde, and Clyde's in for the third, and that's the third off Meninga.
Yes, Bradley Clyde, so thank you very much, playing as a wide receiver, and Mal Meninga doing a Joe Montana impersonation.
Yeah, I like that. He's a wide receiver, all right? Boy, oh boy. What do they say? Hells, bells, and mademoiselles.
I'm sure that Timmy Sheens would be very pleased with this performance of his side. They look terrific, don't they?
They are playing like a very well-drilled team.
Here's Meninga's kick. The only thing he's not doing right is kicking the ball all that well. But nevertheless, they have a scoreline of 12-2. The Canberra side over Balmain at the moment. The break. Carey working the scrum. And the penalty to the Raiders, and they want a quick tab. Laurie Daly urgently calling for the football, takes it up to within about 11 metres. Now he's pushed back a metre or two, and there's the siren. They're going to allow this ruck to continue. Coyne, a little kick ahead. There's Clyde running forward, and Clyde has scored. They cannot do a thing wrong, the Raiders. Timmy Sheen, smile. Why wouldn't you be smiling?
Yeah, when you're smiling, keep on smiling. The whole world smiles with you. Bradley Clyde in for number 2 off a Coyne grubber kick. Yes, you've seen everything. The second rowers are starting to do little grubber kicks. Look at this. Beautiful. Just like Tanksy from Penrith, late of Canterbury. And there was Bradley Clyde on the ball. Easy to be critical of the Balmain side, but they're up against a very hot unit at the moment. They are playing so well. They're playing with such confidence that everything they do comes off. I virtually knew they were going to score there before that bloke kicked it, because Balmain can't do anything right at the moment, which is not to say the game is over. This can change around fairly rapidly. But that is a magnificent try after great lead-up work, and Daly taking the quick tap in the middle of the field. Just beautiful.
That was a very close thing to being called half-time.
Yes, they say rugby league's a game of inches. It's also a game of minutes. I thought it was touch and go as to whether he should have allowed that ruck to go. There's 4 points on the board, so Canberra won't be too disappointed that he did.
There they are. They go to the break at half-time with the Canberra side looking hot, leading the Tigers 16-2. Back live shortly.
They've got 40 minutes to do something rather miraculous, one would think, especially when you take into consideration that 16-2 scoreline. Mal Meninga hasn't been able to buy a goal. All tries. Sirenen, the loser in this match, will receive $35,000. The winner, a guaranteed minimum of 70 in the semis. Pearce. They've got the scrums to the Raiders 4-1, but they're down on the penalties 5-4. Jack struggling to get the kick in. He did well in the end. And a good kick away from Belcher. Now that's a knock-on just about. Well, he overran that as he touched it, and it ended up landing in front of him.
I think it was propelled towards the opponent's goal line.
I thought it was a knock-on. Todd. O'Sullivan. Taken by Roach. Also Peter Phillips. Coyne. Sirenens with some brute strength. Meninga.
Yes, he didn't do Coyne any good on that occasion. Banged him down hard and his head hit the ground, I think.
Not a good kick from Meninga. Jack. A couple of errors from him, glaring ones for him in the first 2 quarters. Although he did make a couple of fine runs. Maguire. They've got to get it started pretty quickly. Roach. Out the back, Elias flat-footed, but there's a gap for Benny Elias up the middle. Phillips. He's got Maguire outside him. If You remember in the grand final, Balmain got away and the Raiders came home. Can the Tigers reverse the roles? 6 more tackles. A great chance here. Penalty. O'Sullivan just lying there in the play of the ball.
Yes, O'Sullivan lying in the area where the dummy half has to operate. You can see that Elias had to virtually fall over the top of him to get at the ball. So the penalty, mandatory one there. Somebody's in trouble here.
Well, he's got a cut under his eye there. A bad one. He has been playing superbly, Steve Walters. Now this kick will be from right in front. He is struggling with that. Now, there was an incident that we might have a look at shortly. Brasher. He adds 2 points. The Raiders 16-4 over the Tigers. Now let's take a look at this incident. Maguire getting to his feet. An elbow connects right square flush on the eye. Edmed. Roach. Balmain are trying strongly to get back into this. They trail by 12. Freeman. He sights a gap. This might be it. He's going to have support inside and out. He went outside, and O'Brien will collect a try. Now there's a smell of something for the Tigers and their big support that is here in great numbers in Goulburn.
Yes, a very fine break here by Freeman. You'll see him accelerate through the gap, shows the ball. Dummy went through, beat the tackle, I think, of Balmain there. He comes to about the quarter line, then selectively gives the ball out to O'Brien, and O'Brien goes in and scores what is a pretty straightforward wing three-quarter try. But Freeman, the way he carried the ball in 2 hands here, showed it. The defence fell for it. I believe it was Balmain. And away he sprinted. He had an option inside and he had an option outside. He chose the outside option. O'Brien was the man. Brasher saw was the inside man. And O'Brien was able to go in and score the try. Very good work, and that puts them somewhere on the road to redemption.
Freeman, the man that made the break, and he says, we just have to believe a little bit more. We hung in against Souths. Mightn't have been the better team on the day, but they got the points then. And Brasher 2 from 2. A kick that will certainly open it right up. Round he comes. Touch judges wave it away. They still have a cushion, Canberra, 16-8. The Raiders nearly had a try at the other end. And then Balmain brought it way back, much to the delight of those black and gold supporters. Meninga. He nearly scored down the other end, and then he missed Freeman. Although he did have 3 players coming at him. Brooks through his hands. Taken by Collins and also Coyne. The dummy from Elias. The chant being set up here at Goulburn for the Tigers. The grand final about 7 months early.
Well, of course, when Benny Elias does run, as he started to do in this second half, it does take a lot of pressure off the outside men. They've got to look for him in there, got to be aware that he might be able to sprint away 4 or 5 metres or 50 metres, and it does give the Balmain side another option.
Enjoying a greater share of possession now in this third quarter. Roach. Last tackle, he was going to try and play it, but it'll be the Raiders to come back now.
Yes, the turnover just inside the Balmain half, and Coyne straight ahead. And O'Sullivan for Todd. takes a few more metres. Here's O'Sullivan again. Daly. Out for Belcher. Some room for Belcher to move. The little kick ahead for Ferguson, but Grant's there first. Chicka Ferguson's got him though.
Yes, Gary Belcher elected to kick on this occasion. He did a very fine run, made the break, a little toe poke through the opening. You can see Grant there and Ferguson in hot pursuit. I think that Grant was always going to get to it, particularly on the short sprint.
And Gary Jack now with the goal line dropout. It's a good one too. All over halfway on to Gary. Strong defence. Here's Meninga. One-handed pass for Clyde out for Martin. Martin's over the quarter line. And the player seems to be improving every time he comes out. O'Sullivan. A little dummy and then over the line he goes himself. Over the quarter line, that is. Collins dummy half. Back for Coyne. Inside for Meninga. He's gone without it. The Tigers come up with possession. And it's Freeman again, who seems to win everywhere for the Balmain side. Now Pearce. Edmed. Here comes Surinam. Ian Lance underneath. Collins over the top. That's 5 tackles gone. Elias. Good kick from Elias. Towards the touchline. Magnificent kick from Elias.
Well, that's got to be about just short of 70 metres, that kick. End over end run on it. It was really travelling. And that has come up with a magnificent gain for the Balmain side. Puts them right back hot on attack. Only about 10 metres out now from the Canberra line. Only remains to win one against the feed, and they're in with a big chance.
And you can see Walters, who got that bash in the eye, all patched up. The Tigers playing with the assistance of a bit of a breeze. Seems to have switched just a little. Now the Raiders get the penalty here. Offside play from Balmain. It's been a better performance in this quarter from the Tigers. They're still a long way to go. So here's Collins for the restart. To Todd. It's very nearly a forward pass. O'Sullivan, Lazarus. And his arms free, but he just offload. Back for Clyde. Back for Collins. Good stuff from the Raiders. Here's Lazarus again and Daly. Across field, slips it for Meninga. Meninga's got Martin with him. He might not need him. He's come back inside for Belcher, but it's intercepted by Freeman for Balmain. And Freeman is caught just 12 metres from halfway.
Yes, exciting bit of play that. Freeman coming up with a dead set try save or intercept.
Certainly danger time for the Balmain side there as Pearce bumps off one. And very close to the end of the third quarter. Less than 60 seconds to go. Roach is pulled down short of the halfway mark. Freeman. And Phillips. One from Benkick. Looks for Jack back inside. Now here's Elias again. Quick pass back for Sirinen. That'll be a turnover. Gary Jack is flat on the other side of the field. Looks like he's taken a heavy knock. Seemed to be twisted in the last tackle that he was involved in. Lance. Here's O'Sullivan and Lazarus. 6 tackles to go. Siren sounded. This will be the last ruck as Coyne almost sliced through. Got a pass back along the ground. O'Sullivan's kicked it over the touchline. So referee McCallum calls a halt to proceedings at the end of the third quarter. Canberra still with that cushion. They lead Balmain 16-8. Back live shortly.
Goodyear, associate sponsor of the Channel 10 Challenge, hopes you are enjoying this telecast.
Welcome back to Goulburn. The last quarter. The last chance for Balmain to turn around this scoreline. Gary Jack won't start the quarter. He was injured in a tackle just towards the end. Lazarus was the man who finished him off. He fell down awkwardly here. He was certainly taken in all sorts of directions. He has told trainers that he felt a little bit of a crack. We wish him well and hope it's not anything serious. Freeman, 8 points behind the Tigers. They fought their way back into it in the third quarter. Now they're 9 away from their own line. Elias. Edmed, still full of running. Sirinu. Breeze, as we mentioned in the third quarter, has swung around and is behind the Tigers. Freeman. One of Balmain's best today, Freeman. The sun just creeps out before finally setting. Now the ball bounces away from Belcher and quickly sits up now. He has it. Benkick and Grant have him. Clyde. Ferguson, the dummy half, has to be watched from there. Gets away from Elias, and Elias. O'Sullivan. Collins, a dummy half now. Walters won't be returning. Terrific crowd of 11,506 here at the Workers' Arena. We've witnessed a fine match. Brasher's gone to fullback. Bit of room for him to move. He won't beat Wood. Freeman uses up Benke. Now he's taken. Peter Sterling, this Canberra backline certainly have the confidence out wide against this Balmain side. Yes,
they're looking to get it out there at every opportunity. This game is far from over. We must remember that in the game against Illawarra, Canberra did tie it pretty quickly late in that game, and Balmain are starting to put together a few passes now.
That's an interesting point. They certainly did slow dramatically against the Steelers. Roach. Kick with the overlap. Quickly back for Pearce, touched by Canberra originally. So the first knock on against the Raiders. The Balmain possession will continue. They enjoyed a lion's share of it in the last quarter. An opportunity for some deep breaths for the forwards. Phillips. Brasher. Back for Benke. Eight-point turnaround the Tigers are looking for. Elias. Midfield about 42 out. Roach. He makes it just to halfway. Edmed. Pearce. Either a bad pass or knocked down. Now a chance for Martin. Martin just accelerates. Brasher. Great tackle to stop him. Quick play of the ball. Out it comes. O'Sullivan. Lazarus. He crashed his way over in the grand final, and he has crashed his way over in Goulburn for a try that should send them straight to a semi-final, on line for $200,000.
if we can take this play the ball back, or the replay back, so let's see whether that ball was knocked down or just a bad pass. Well, you can't tell from that shot, but then Meninga swooped on the ball, got it away outside to his wing three-quarter. Now, I thought that player was going to score from that position. I thought Martin was in for a good try. But the defence got there. Brasher in particular did well. And from here, the ball went quickly from Clyde out to O'Sullivan onto Lazarus. Now, Lazarus charged at the line using his not insubstantial bulk and strength, and over he goes. That's a very good try. Now, watch this one carefully. No, we still can't see that, whether Meninga actually touched the ball to knock it or not. But there it is, the pass away. He wrong-foots his defender there, number 4, Popke. Goes beautifully. Brasher, with a diving tackle, succeeds in pulling him down at the last desperate minute. And from the ensuing play the ball, the try comes. Now, this was all that was required, was good, quick hands. O'Sullivan, the defence had been absolutely shot to ribbons with a run, but Lazarus does remarkably well, and with a big, strong right hand, planks it right down.
You call that power and strength. The kick was unsuccessful, and a scoreline for the Raiders, which is quite remarkable, 20-8, and they are all tries.
It's amazing how many clubs are finding difficulty kicking goals in this Channel 10 challenge. But I figure if the Raiders can score enough tries, they won't worry about the goals. What's that, 5 tries today?
5 tries.
Goodness me. Clyde. Now, David Woods. That from Daly. Against to Belcher and then Chicker Ferguson. The pass ruled forward.
Yes, just ruled forward out to Ferguson there. The referee was fairly well in line with it. We'll have to assume that the ruling was the correct one.
Freeman working the scrum for the Tigers. Neal is on, Brasher is off for Balmain. Here's Benke. Passing to no one in particular. Picked up by Grant. And John Elias, we hear that Brasher has come off with blurred vision. Just having a look at him on the bench. Edmed. Roach wants it. Back inside for Surinam. Freeman again. Martin is back there to cover. Belcher is there as well. Can Martin get out? No, he can't.
No, well thought out little kick over the top. Martin feels it in the end goal, but there were too many defenders there. O'Brien was up right around his legs. So the line drop out now, and Balmain will presumably get the ball back from the kick.
Referee McCallum's hold of play. They want another football.
Just an observation, as a matter of what I would consider some urgency for the Balmain side, they've got to get Edmed, the big prop forward, into the mode of occasionally passing the football. I think he's got through the entire game, hard runner as he is, without passing the football on one occasion.
And you saw Carey swing down big Surinam.
Now there he is again, Edmed. Strong as and willing as you please, but he's not doing anything constructive.
Freeman, coin around the ankles.
Good tackle.
And Phillips just outside the quarter line. Back for Benning Elias. Again, open spaces, and again we've got to repeat, have we, with Martin back for it, and Martin makes it dead.
Yes, this is well thought out. Benny Elias was quite right. He put the kick into a good position and put the player on side. James Grant went precious close to scoring off that one.
$20 points to 8, the Raiders over Balmain. 5 tries they've scored. Here's some room for Collins. Straight up the middle. Podgy's pulled him down, but the Raiders are going to pick up a penalty.
Yes, he was playing the advantage.
Somebody held back. Daly will have a look for touch. Now the restart with Collins just outside the quarter. Lazarus. Sullivan back inside for Woods. Daly at 100 miles an hour could not have possibly held on to the football, and Wayne Pearce brings it back to the corner.
There are still 10 minutes left. They can't get sloppy, Canberra. It's the area of the game that they did slow against the Steelers. It is hard to imagine them to getting beaten. Interesting that Tim Sheen said in the Sunday papers, Peter Sterling, that he doesn't consider the Raiders favourites.
Well, he's big Ciro making bust up the middle. That's probably for his own players as much as anybody else. He's certainly not looking for any complacency in the side. They know there's a long road ahead, and you know that they know there's a lot of hard work to be done as well.
And hard work for Balmain as O'Brien heads down touch, but he has taken over the sideline.
Yes, a good run here by O'Brien, but he was too close to the sideline all the time. Not his fault, of course, and taken over. One of those situations when you just have to play the odds there.
Lance and Todd go back as Lazarus and Coyne get a rest. Meninga showed it for Belcher. Lance straight into it.
He's had a fine game today, Lance. He's got through a huge amount of tackling.
Clyde, always a handful. Carey. Daly wants it. He shaped a kick. Edmed didn't fall for it. 6-4 the scrums to the Raiders today so far. The penalties just to the Tigers. O'Sullivan. More than hopeful field goal attempt. O'Brien taken nicely by Carey. Podgy. Away nicely for Grant. Now Phillips. But Woods and Ferguson were there quickly. Comes for Pearce, and it looks like the Bears are the ones who will have to concern themselves with the Raiders. Edmed away, picked up well by Roach. Benke, last tackle. They're very bunched, the Tigers. Neal, kick straight down for Belcher. He does well to trap it, and he beats Grant beautifully. Now he beats Pearce. Ferguson, Freeman. Good cover from Freeman. But it's the Raiders. Line deep to the right. Nearly their entire outfit. Collins. O'Sullivan. Massive overlap. Daly. Clyde. They're hungry for a try again. And the pass goes astray just when they look like picking up another one. So they're not going to slow in this final 10 minutes. About 6.5 to go. Elias. Away for little Michael Neal. Roach. Edmed. Psychologically, the Raiders must have tremendous confidence now lining up against Balmain. The handover Tigers will have to dig deep now to hold them out once more. Carey for Daly. Long pass. Mark Bell inside the 22.
My God, he showed a startling pair of heels there for the first 10 yards in that run.
Daly. He's repeatedly said that he likes the 5/8 roll, where he started this match. And Sullivan still wants a field goal. Touched, and Balmain have it, but they've only got 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, it'll require nothing short of a miracle for them. Just outside the quarter, Freeman, and now McNeil. Of course, the North Sydney side, after winning their quarter-final here earlier, have stayed on to watch this. Another awesome display by the Raiders. So their coach Steve Martin will have plenty to think about, as will all his team. That semi-final will be played next Sunday at Parramatta Stadium. Podgy kicking out on the full, on the 6th tackle. Of course, the first semi-final, as we watch Coyne down the blind side, first semi-final Friday night from Bathurst. If you can join us live, 7:30, Penrith and Western Suburbs. Certainly the Raiders well on their way to backing up their Winfield Cup trophy of 6 months or so ago with the Channel 10 Challenge. They would have to be pretty warm favourites. It's not discounting either Penrith or West. Meninga. Almost intercepted by Freeman. Lance has got it back. And they're keeping it alive now with Woods. Woods, this big man is going to score right next to the post. David Woods in to score. Yep, another try for the Raiders. Try number 6.
Yes, a case of keeping the ball alive and a weary defence, one thinks. This is the way the play went. Meninga turned back on the inside through the dummy. Got it away there to Lance. Lance got the pass back on the inside to Carey, it looks like. Collins. And then to this man, Woods. Now he started veering out to the right, then decided that the way to go was back on the inside, and that's a good try. A matter of keeping the ball alive and a combination of that and a weary defence. Meninga changing it. The ball almost intercepted by Freeman. There they went away with Woods finally getting the ball about 15 metres out, coming back in diagonally towards the post and scoring a pretty solid try.
So this big replacement forward, David Woods, presenting Chris O'Sullivan with the shot for goal, and hello, they've kicked the goal. Chris O'Sullivan kicking the goal for the Raiders, their first of the afternoon, and yet they're still able to lead 26-8. And we've got about 2 minutes or so remaining in this game. And this crowd has really enjoyed it. I guess predominantly Canberra supporters, and they would be delighted with their team's performance.
And pray why not? I don't know of any side that we've seen going around in the pre-season knockout challenge from Channel 10 that I'd back against them.
No.
That'll probably change fairly rapidly once the competition starts, but let's be giving credit where credit's due. They are a marvellous looking outfit.
And the Raiders back on their own quarter with O'Sullivan. And back for Daly. Turns Podgy around, but it's set up nicely for Podgy. Caught by Collins. Benke losing the football. about 60 seconds remaining, Peter Sterling. The problems facing Balmain aren't only just on form.
No, that's right, Ian. Quite an easy loss today, but they've also got a couple of worrying injuries with Bruce Maguire and Gary Jack. I'm sure they'll be very concerned to see that they come through the medical tomorrow with a clean bill of health.
Indeed. Now, good chasing again from the Raiders has the Tigers back on their own line once again. Just 10 metres out. Phillips down the blind side. Now Pearce. Benny Elias. Sending Belcher back into his own quarter. Beat one. Able to get it back for Daly. And the siren sounds, bringing an end to proceedings, and Tim Sheens would feel very, very happy with his side's performance. The Raiders are into the semi-finals, and the Canberra flags flying high, as well they should, after a very impressive performance. A final score of 26 points to 8. Look at that, there's 6 tries scored. Wood, Martin, Clyde scored 2. Lazarus and Woods, just the 1 goal. Chris O'Sullivan kicking one right near the end for Balmain O'Brien, the try scorer, and 2 goals for Brasher. This has been a fantastic afternoon here at Goulburn. And I think we should pay credit to people like the Deputy Mayor of Goulburn, Margaret O'Neill, and her crew who've worked tirelessly here. The Lions Club have got right behind this promotion, and they've all worked tirelessly to make it a successful venture. We'll take a break and we'll come back live from Goulburn with our man of the match in just one moment.